Rites of passage. When you finally decide to leave home, you expect a new wave of responsibility to crash over you. What you don't expect is the weight of it, the sacrifice, the solitude, the quiet demands of becoming a man. No one warns you about that part. I would call this a modern day rite of passage. Rites of passage have quietly disappeared as we've moved into this new age of technology and comfort. The ancient tradition of marking the transition from a boy to a man, it's largely gone. And in its absence, I have noticed something. There are grown men who never actually grew up, men who were never tested, never pushed, never had to rise to meet something difficult. But then there are boys who had to become men because life demanded it of them, and that was my path. So, what actually makes something a rite of passage? Historically, it comes down to three different stages. Stage number one is separation, leaving behind the familiar and stepping out of your comfort zone. For me, this meant accepting an opportunity to leave my home country and venture into the unknown. I didn't know if I'd ever come back. I didn't know if I'd arrive safely. I didn't even know if the opportunity was real. But I went anyway because I had nothing to lose, and the fear of missing the experience outweighed the fear of going alone. When you leave your comfort zone, you're left with two options: sink or swim. No one is going to catch you when you fall. No one is going to check that you're eating enough, resting enough, holding it together. And in that process, something begins to build inside you: endurance, strength, resilience. You endure because that is simply what a man does. He doesn't complain, he doesn't hide from pain, he doesn't panic, he moves forward. The separation phase was complete. The second phase is transition, the limbo phase. Not limbo, not limbo, but limbo. The test. I mentioned endurance already, and that's exactly what this stage is. Long hours of navigating an entirely new culture, early mornings and late nights, back to back with no end in sight. Going from a Western world into a deeply conservative one, from a tropical climate to an arid, suffocating heat that most people would flee from. It was a shock, but I endured. I sobered up. 2 months in, I gave up alcohol entirely. I started running in the extreme heat, not in spite of the conditions, but because of them. I wanted to prove something to myself. Discomfort is manageable, necessary. Since our ancestors faced far worse, why could I not? I was reforging myself quietly, deliberately, and in the heat of the desert. The third phase was reincorporation. Returning home changed. After 1 year and 2 months abroad, a brief moment in the grand scheme of life, but an eternity when you're living in it, I came home with a new identity. I was no longer just a young man from my city. I was someone who had left, worked overseas, and survived it. I spent a week at home, grateful to see the faces I missed. I came back with a clearer mind, a committed relationship, a steadier financial footing, and most importantly, a new perspective. For the first time, I could feel the faint warmth of financial freedom on the horizon. But I knew it was only the beginning. I had completed my modern day rite of passage. Through every hardship, every struggle, every moment of doubt, I never lost my gratitude for it. The pain shaped me. The resilience I built was hard earned and real. Without those responsibilities accepted, those duties fulfilled, I would not have made the crossing from a boy to a man. The trials were overcome. The blood, the sweat, the tears, none of it was in vain. The suffering was worth it. Now, just to wrap this up, when I left home, I was 22 years old. I had no idea what life had in store for me at this point, and I must say that it was one of the best choices I ever made in my life. And you never really know where you're going, and I think that's part of the beauty of it. I believe that you should just keep doing the difficult things, because at the end of the day, as a man, you have to take on trials, tribulations, new challenges, and you have to face them head on. Because these days, it doesn't feel like most men are being tested. It seems that most people kind of get wrapped up in the day to day life of waking up, going to work, working, coming home, complaining, and then just kind of slothing out in front of the TV or in front of video games. This is the cycle that I want to break, that I would like to inspire others to break. And I know that it's only something that we can do by leading by example and doing the difficult things. Because to be great, you have to do the impossible. You have to do what no one else is willing to do. And with most of the world just kind of operating at 20%, if you can give 25%, you could be doing better than so many others around you. And the point is to not just do better than everybody else, but to inspire others to also do better, not just because they want validation, not because they want to be seen as winners, but you do it for yourself, because that is when you represent your house, your family name. Whatever you do, just do it so that you know that you are an honorable and honest person, an honest man. So yes, that's my wrap up. That is my wrap up. There's nothing more. Thank you.